Hello, welcome everyone. Today we are going to learn about swimming pools and their construction. Okay, so we know that swimming pools are usually the watertight structures, or even they can be known as tanks, which can be used for maybe leisure activities or for exercise kind of purposes. So these swimming pools, they are constructed of concrete usually, and they are constructed at maybe ground level or terrace level of any structure or a hotel for or any residency as well. So depending on the locations, how the designs differ, how the constructions differ, that is what we are going to look at today. Also, they are of various shapes, sizes as per their use. So, for example, an Olympic swimming pool and a swimming pool for a private bungalow will have especially a very different type of shape and size, right? Even the depths vary, right? So, according to the use, the shape, size, the swimming pools, they are of different type. So we are going to see these types today. Also, the swimming pools are classified as outdoor swimming pools and indoor swimming pools. So according to that also, the construction method, the sizes, shapes, depths, everything is going to vary. So today we will see about the classification of swimming pools. We will see about the construction of swimming pools and also the services that are to be occupied with the swimming pools. That is what we are going to focus on today. Okay.
So, when we talk about designing a swimming pool, there are some important considerations that must be taken care of. First is the topographic and soil conditions where the swimming pool is going to be located. So, the soil should not be very damp, or the moisture content should be, as much required. Also, the soil bearing capacity has to be checked, right? So we know the basics, like swimming pools are nothing but the type of retaining walls that we learnt. Only difference will be the weep holes that were there in the retaining walls will not be here in the case of swimming pool. That is why when it is going underground, that time the soil conditions around the pool are going to matter. Second is it should not be located close to very big trees. Now why? We know that big trees will have a lot of roots that are deeper and will keep on growing deep inside, also along the surface. So that is why if they keep on growing next to the swimming pool, it might break the walls. Then there should be sufficient space left at the periphery of the swimming pool. The fourth important criteria is the location or orientation of the pool. Now the wind directions must be considered while locating the swimming pools. Why? Because we know that especially if we see case of Indian context, then the wind direction is usually throughout the year, maximum time it is from southwest to northeast. So the dust or whatever soil or tiny soil particles, they might get into the swimming pool water and contaminate it. That is why the direction must be observed while planning a swimming pool or its location and orientation. Okay. So further, let us see how are swimming pools classified. For our understanding, we will understand how to classify them.
So basically, if we try to classify swimming pools, they can be classified as outdoor swimming pools and indoor swimming pools. The outdoor ones, we know that these are the ones which are open to sky. Usually they are constructed at ground level or even terrace level. And but the swimming pools but these cannot be used throughout the year because of the varying seasons. Whereas the indoor swimming pools, they are covered with a roof, they can be utilized throughout the year. They can be used for competitions, trainings, the pool games, etc. Also, the temperature can be maintained in this case. So now these are the classifications. But if we try to learn about types of swimming pool, we will classify them according to their construction methods. Okay. So if there are basically 4 to 5 types of swimming pools according to their method of construction. So first one is a reinforced concrete swimming pool. So now this reinforced concrete swimming pool, if we try and understand its structure, the basic structure, it is nothing but the four side retaining wall. Now the retaining walls that we studied in the previous modules, the same construction method is applied here as well, but these will not have weep holes as I mentioned before. So the walls are usually the RCC Pardi, and the raft slab is there at the bottom. So at times when the depth of these swimming tanks is more, that is it can be used for diving purposes, then the walls designed are as retaining walls so as they sustain the pressure of the water. Now always understand, whether it be swimming pool or a water tank, overhead water tank, underground water tank, or the towers that have the water tanks for the wards, etc. They all contain a lot of pressure of water, so which is extreme. So the walls are to be always to be constructed in RCC Pardi. Okay, so that is the strongest construction that is recommended. So the waterproofing, either box type waterproofing or bituminous coating waterproofing is first done in the swimming pools. The tank is then finished from inside with tiles or with waterproof paints. So mostly tiles are preferable because they are very good and easy to clean. Okay, and also they don't allow bacterial or fungal growths over their surface because of their smooth texture, right? So the second type which can be mentioned is in-ground membrane pools. Now these are excavation in the ground, and it is lined with waterproof membrane throughout them. The walls are also reinforced with concrete. The waterproofing membrane, it can be of polymer or bituminous material with proper joints. So now the third type is the above ground pools. Now the above ground pools which are placed above the ground, they are small and mostly single family use. These are like a private pools specified in the bungalow constructions or farmhouses. So they are the walls, they are made up of aluminum or steel and they are placed on a flat surface. So these are internally lined with plastic or polymer sheets. So they have varying sizes of 10 meter dia and 1 meter to 1.5 meter depth. So the costing is also low as compared to the above types that I mentioned. So further we have many more types like fiberglass pools, etc. According to the material, the use, they all will vary. So now let us see how is the swimming pool working. So now to keep the water fresh, we have to keep on circulating the water, or there is a pump that is going to continuously move the water to keep it fresh. Okay, so there are like several processes that the water undergoes while moving and again to the swimming pool. So it needs a few components. So there will be a pump as I mentioned. Then there will be drains to take out the excess of water which is maybe splashing out or which is to be cleaned. Then there are filters to clean the water. There are chemical feeders again for cleaning. Then there are plumbing systems. So the water which is going to circulate through the filtration system, it removes the dirt and debris from the swimming pool. So the surface water which flows to the filtration system through the scum gutters or skimmers at the top, and the tank water through the main drains at the bottom. Now you see this diagram. Here in the section you can see there is this scum gutter that is provided. So when there is an overflow from water, the scum gutter is going to collect the water and then clean out the debris or the unnecessary elements from the water. So the dirt that sinks is collected and then drained out. So the sump is covered with grated covers. There is this sump that is provided to prevent the pump from being clogged. The water passes through a trap. This trap is used to retain the dirt and then it reaches to the pump. Now the water is then pumped through the filter system of the pool, which further after filtration and chemical treatment again returns to the pool. Now every time we don't like we do it in the house, we don't bring water, use and throw away. No, here water has to circulate because the requirement of water, and that is why the water is brought in, used, then filtered and again reused. That is the process provided for swimming pools. So it contains sand or glass like silica. The water is rushed through the filter where the small particles are first trapped and filtered water is then out. The filter is to be cleaned periodically as the small particles they will accumulate in the filter, right? So they have to be removed and proper working of the filter has to be checked. So further chlorination of the water is there because sometimes it is for cleaning purpose. Chlorination is one of the preferred criteria. So there is that is done using the dispenser or peristaltic pump that you see here in the diagram. So let us try and know little more about these scum gutters and skimmers. So most of the, as I told you, the contaminated water is at the surface usually. The surface water it has a lot of debris, algae, spores. Then there are oils of skins of people they are using, then of the swimmers, and the bodily discharges at some time. So the surface water, it has to be disinfected properly. As the swimmer is mostly in contact with the surface water removal and circulation are the key factor to keep a swimming pool properly working. The surface water is removed with the help of special type of drains which are called as scum gutters or skimmers. So here you see in this diagram again zoomed in. So these gutters are designed in such a manner that it circulates the surface water. They are at the surface level of the water on the side walls of the swimming pool. So they are recessed partially open type narrow gutters. So the water it will spill over these and then it is drained to the filtration plant. Scum gutters, they have low volume capacity and it is difficult achieving a 50% circulation drive. So the surge gutters are also used to drain water. They are having larger capacity and can remove large amount of contaminated water. Then the rim flow gutter is another type of gutter that is used to drain the water. So these are 1 feet wide with 50 mm slope with from outer edge till the outer side of the drain. So these are often used for recreational swimming pools. The tanks where the scum gutters, surge gutters and rim flow gutters are used are called as overflow pools. Right? So the contaminated water is taken to balancing tank. The balancing tank is made up of concrete or plastic which has a capacity of holding 15% of the pool water. Because of this balancing tank, more space is required and additional tank beneath the pool is also provided. The water that is collected here is then taken to the filtration plant. The skimmers are another way to keep a pool sanitized. So these are small rectangular box type opening in the side walls at the water surface. The surface skimmers, they remove water from the surface of a pool and collect debris and contaminated water. So these skimmer pools are known as free board pools. So no skimmers to be provided depends number of skimmers to be provided will depend on the volume of the water. Minimum 2 skimmers are to be provided on each wall. If the width is less, then only one skimmer is also sufficient. So the water that is collected through the skimmers is directly taken to the filtration plant and no balancing tank is provided. So therefore less space is required for this type of swimming pool, due to which also it is economical. So the water from the mains, which is at the bottom of the swimming pool, and the scum gutter or skimmer water is connected with a valve. Now why valve? We don't want that water to come back, right? So this is further connected to the pump which is then diverted to the filtration plant and recirculated to the swimming pool. Thus the water of the swimming pool is completely circulated when in use and we get clean water for swimming. So that is why it is said that if you want to keep the swimming pools clean and tidy, they should be in use. If they are stopped or they are not used, then definitely they might get clogged or under function. So this is about the cleaning or the scum gutters and skimmers. So now let us see the other services like how is the lighting done for a swimming pool. Now, these pool lights, they are specifically for aesthetic purpose or the dramatic dimensions to the pool. So in design, they give a lot of aesthetically appealing kind of appearance. Also, it adds to the surrounding ambience of the swimming pool. So it is done in the underwater, the lighting, and above the ground as well. The lighting which is done underwater is called as in-ground lights, and the ones above ground are called above ground pool lights. The AC current is converted into DC current of 12 volts for in-ground light. So now the several types of in-ground lights are available for swimming pool lights, like LED pool lights are there, very common ones. There are LED lights, they offer more brightness with a less consumption of electricity. The LED pool lights are long lasting, and the replacement are also easier, and they require less of a skill. So also the in-ground pool lights, they are designed to be installed beneath the water line. They are set into a bucket called as light niche. You can see it in this photograph. The above ground pool lights are not usually installed when the pool is built, but there are many pool lights that are designed for above ground pools, and they can use over the wall pool lights as well. Okay, this was about the lighting. So let us see about how do we maintain a swimming pool. What are the things that are required for maintenance? So the weekly pool maintenance is very important. It ensures the clean and safer water. So there are few important steps that are required. So first is cleaning of debris and leaves. So if there are any debris by dust or sand are coming with wind, then there are leaves from the trees that are come settled in the water. So then this task that should be done on daily basis. So to gather up the leaves, insects or any other debris floating on the surface, use a long handled leaf skimmer. Remove debris before it sinks to the bottom of the pool, which will later become very difficult to remove. So the second is the brush sediment from the pool walls. So now the algae or bits of debris can gather at the walls of the swimming pool, as well as pool fixtures that are there. So over the lights or the ladders, etc. So the walls must be brushed every week to remove the dirt and prevent the spread of the algae. Then the vacuuming the pool. So once the algae and sediments have been brushed from the walls, they can be vacuumed up along with any other debris that have floated to the bottom of the pool. So now there is also pH level test of the water. The chemicals that are to be added, the chlorination that is done, it maintains the cleanliness and the pH levels of the water. So they have to be monitored. So the chlorine wash is another thing that is required, which is done when the swimming pool is not in use for several months. Before the reuse of the pool, the chlorine or bromide wash is done. So this is all about the swimming pools, their functioning, their construction, maintenance, everything. In the MOOC, we have also provided you information about the diving boards, the spring boards, the ladders, stairs, handrails, all these extra attachments that are required for functioning of a swimming pool. So I will now request you all to go through the book part of the. Thank you.